Hi there guys, this is Coach Decatur with Cousins Martial Arts. Just giving you our lesson number 2 for the adults class. This is going to be MMA. We're going to do a little bit of a warm-up, move into some Krav Maga and some kickboxing techniques. So this is going to be a little bit sort of like class, but a little bit different when we add in some extra portions here. I'm going to make this as simple as possible that you can do anywhere at home, so you can do it pretty much in your spot, but do as best as you can with what you have, and pause whenever you need to, whether you need a break or just rewind, or to rep out these different things in a few different reps. So like we're going to do some shadow boxing here. I recommend doing it all around the room for maybe a couple minutes here. It's always good to practice your technique, focusing on your footwork, different aspects, your hands, your head, where your body is moving, that sort of thing. And also we're going to do some different motions that'll warm your body up, like burpees and stuff like that. But you may need to do more than just a couple. So we'll move into that, okay? So we're going to do our lead kick, rear kick, just as a warm-up. Again, this is shadow boxing. I'm going to give you a little bit more technique here, and I just want you to rep it out on your own. So it's going to look like this. Lead kick, 360 rear kick. Whoops, caught the ground a little bit here. So we're going to take our rear leg first, and I'm going to throw my heel forward. My heel needs to face my target so I have good balance, and then we're going to do a lead kick. So we snap that lead leg out by turning it over and snapping. Okay? Then we move into our 360 rear kick. I'm going to fan my toes out to the side, so this opens up my hips and lets me be a little bit more mobile. I want to take my heel off of the ground, and then I'm going to swing my rear leg all the way over. So it looks like this. Okay? 360 rear kick. I want you to do this everywhere, all around your room. I'm really focusing on the heels. You can do it from your chamber right here, so I can just turn my heel and kick, or you can even slide up, use different aspects that'll help you out with moving, okay? I just want you to focus on getting your legs a little bit more flexible. Don't go as high as you can on the first one. Warm it up just as we go. Remember, this is shadow boxing and part of our warm-up. Next, we're going to move into burpees. I'm going to take my hands, go down to the ground, get into a push-up position. I'm going to bring my feet back together, and I like to add in a jump just to make sure you fully extended your whole body. So burpees will look like this. Hands down, push-up position, and jump. That is one. I would recommend doing about 20. That'll get you quite a good warm-up. But for the sake of being able to talk to you guys while doing this, I'm just going to break it into little sections here. Next up, we're going to move into our lead kick, cross, hook, cross. So I'm going to talk about the hands a little bit more than the legs here. So we got our lead kick, and then we go cross, hook, cross. I'm just backing up on that one. Normally I'd move forward, but I moved back for the frame here. So lead kick, cross, hook, cross. I take my rear side. I'm focusing my hands by my cheeks. I want one to go away while the other one stays behind to defend, with every single punch, and also focusing on my shoulders, hips, and heels to rotate all the way into all of my punches. Okay, so we got our lead kick. I already talked about that one. With our cross, I want those shoulders shrugged, chin down, eyes going over almost like to my eyebrows here. And then I'm rotating while lifting that shoulder to block my mouth here. That's probably why it's a little harder to hear as well. But I'm going to block my own jaw so you can't hurt me as easily, okay? Flaring the heel, the shoulders, everything. Now with the hook, what I commonly have for a mistake is that we're punching really low. We're not getting the right degree or angle of our elbow. So I want 90 degrees here. I want an L shape as high as our chin, and we're going to squish the bug. The other thing is I see a lot of people just using our arms. I want you to throw everything into it. I want you to use your shoulder, your hip, and your heel. Just like I said, if we turn and whip into it, it will have so much of a stronger combo. So lead kick, cross, hook, and cross. That's what I'm looking for, guys. Move around the room. Just as a brief example here, I want you to pop your different techniques using your different defenses that you guys know, and using good head movement as well. So lead kick, cross hook, cross, slip, bob and weave, lead kick, cross hook, cross. It's a little difficult to stay in frame and do it at the same time. So move around as much as you have room for, okay? Next up, we're gonna go into some squat side kicks. Again, just to stretch our legs out a little bit more. So we're gonna squat all the way down. As we come up, I like to chamber across my body and then kick out. Squat, side kick, squat, side kick. As much as you want. Again, go easy. If it's just this high, that's okay. If you're not warm just yet, let's build it up. Goes nice and easy. Lastly, we're gonna do some different form of blocks here. We're gonna do some 360 blocks. We're gonna go up top, diagonal, side, side, diagonal, and low. This may seem a little weird, but with these different blocks, it's a high block, outside, inside, low blocks, almost like karate style or even taekwondo. But these different blocks can help us out with different strikes, or even if somebody were trying to attack us with a weapon. So we have high blocks to block above us. If someone were striking to the outside, we can defend on the in, or even over this direction. Or if somebody were trying to stab at us downwards, we can block with our low block here. What I like to work on is having one hand designated for the top and one hand designated for anything at the bottom. So if someone were striking down at me, high block. If they're going this side, inside, outside, as you kind of seen. And then if anything were low, I do a low block. I can even block on the inside here. But the idea is one is going to be used for all of the different angles here. So a 360 block. Practice that, even have a partner if you can get your partner with you. Hammer fists, hooks, uppercuts, or even try to poke at you with like maybe not a pencil, but something that's very safe, that's rounded off. Just poke at you a little bit and try to block all those different sections, okay? That's just an added little thing that I would like to work on with you guys in class as well. Now we're gonna move into a little bit of Krav Maga with Coach Sparks here. So he's gonna help me out with just again, an added section. I wanna supplement the things that you know and then add in some different things too to make it a little bit more interesting while you guys are away. So Coach Sparks here, he's gonna do a one-hand choke on me. Again, this is more technical here, so you may have to play this through a couple of times, maybe even use your imagination, but if you have somebody with you with a bottle of Purell, wash their hands, that sort of thing, then we can do this, okay? So Coach Sparks is gonna put his hand around my throat or even just on my chest, whichever one you're more comfortable with. Right here, we're going to reach across and peel. I'm gonna do the same thing, doesn't matter which arm, I'm gonna reach across and peel. The idea is that we rotate their wrist. This makes it very uncomfortable. My preference is to always go towards their thumb. So I reach around and I go towards their thumb. This is my favorite one because we can hit towards the elbow or even control. I'm gonna do it one more time. As I control, I can even turn them over, and now I have an arm bar or even a wrist lock if we're holding onto their arm, okay? So as he holds on, I'm going to go to level 2 with you guys. Level 1 is just rotating. Level 2 is our hand placement. My 4 fingers are gonna go around the meaty part of his thumb, or not thumb, pinky right here, the pads of his pinky. I go underneath with my 4 fingers. My thumb is actually gonna go on his joint, on the thumb as well. And I'm going to rotate outwards. As I do that, I can apply pressure. Obviously, we're gonna do some meaner techniques as well towards the joints. So if we control joints and rotate them, they usually follow where we want them to go. Okay, so again, I'm grabbing onto the meaty part of the pinky right here with my fingers. My thumb will go right onto their thumb, right on that joint. If I go the other way, so Coach puts his hands on my throat, I'm gonna take my fingers and go around the meaty part of his thumb this time. And when I grab onto there, my thumb should be available to put it on his pinky joint right here, okay? So I put my fingers on his thumb on his pinky, and I rotate outwards. This one's a little bit more comfortable. It's a lot more lackadaisical, but if we drive it towards them and push it at them, if I have enough force, he'll actually fall over. If you want to double it up and put your Kimura grip on by going underneath and grabbing on top, that throws them even more. That gives you extra pressure. So again, rewind it as many times as you need, grab the different joints here and rotate. All right, up next, we're gonna do a little bit with our combinations and then probably wrap things up with a little bit of a guillotine to reiterate what we did last time with class, okay? So coach, do you mind, let's work on our jab, slip, cross hook cross, okay?
Sounds good.
For this one, we're going to break this into a couple pieces just for the different audiences here, varying levels of experience. So I'm going to show you what it looks like in full, and then I'm going to break it into pieces, okay? So it looks like this: jab, slip, cross hook cross. Jab, slip, cross hook cross. So again, something that we did a little bit earlier, just slightly different, okay? Without the lead kick. If you want to add that in there, perfectly fine, absolutely. So with our jab, he's going to pop this one out. I'm going to talk to more of like the pad holder for right now, just to make sure everybody's on the same page here. Pad holder, when they are in their striking stance, we're looking at their lead side. That is the jab. Okay, so when he extends this hand out, this one is particularly his left. I want to meet him with my left hand as well, so it crisscrosses. If he did the same side, if I did my right hand, he punches right into my eye. Okay, so I want to make sure he crisscrosses so it doesn't hurt me, okay? So he does his jab. Every time I raise my hand, jab. You can make this different drills of reaction time as well. So level 1, we're just going to do a jab every time I flash the pad. So move around with them, jab, jab, jab. Don't make it so robotic. Now we're going to add in responses. Level 2, after he jabs, I'm going to punch back at him. I want him to slip. Most common response, or one of the common responses, is when he jabs at me, I jab right back. Okay? So after he jabs, I'm going to punch back at him, and he's going to slip his head out of the way. We always want to go to the dead side, to the outside of my body, so it can set up different strikes back at me. He's more safe that way. If you go to the other side, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. I want you to know we moved our head out of the way. Awesome. But preference is to go to the dead side, okay? So now we're going to go into level 2. We're going to jab, and every so often, I'm going to punch right back at him, okay? So jab. If your partner is very comfortable with it, pad holder, you can even just punch at your partner. But remember, we got to be safe. I don't recommend that. I want you to make sure you have a mouth guard in case there's any mistakes. That's why we wear the safety equipment, okay, guys? But that's the jab and the slip. Now, we're going to reset back to our old position. We're going to do the jab, slip, cross, hook, cross. So you guys already did this combo. I just want you to put it in full. Ready? Jab, slip, cross, hook, cross. I do say it that way so it's easier to remember. Taking a big combination of, it's not necessarily 7, but 7 items, but making it into 2. Jab, slip, cross, hook, cross. Making it easier to remember, digest. Ready? Jab, slip, cross, hook, cross. Once you're good with that, move around the room. Jab, oops, sorry. Jab, slip, cross, hook, cross. Jab, slip, cross, hook, cross. Move that around. If you don't have a pad holder, obviously this one's just going to be a little bit of a shadow work type of thing too, but the ideas remain the same. Pretend a little bit. Use your imagination. I'm going to pop that jab as fast as I can. I'm going to focus on my head movement. So I jab and then respond right away. Somebody's hitting at me, move your head out of the way. That's what I want you guys to work on. Moving your head, moving your legs, responding as quickly as we can, developing those combinations so they're muscle memory. That's why we shadow box so often and do these types of things, okay? Last thing, I'm going to take it a step back here. We're going to go into our blocking and responding. This is for testing. So like how we did the 360 defenses, we can make that a portion here too. We've done this in class as well where we did triangle steps. So we're going to go into that right now. With my feet together, I'm going to step out to one side and reset. Step out to one side and reset. The next thing we can do is step out and punch at the same time, but with the opposite side hand. So this is my right. I'm going to step to my right, but my left hand's going to punch. If I go to my left, I'm going to step with my left, and my right hand's going to punch. So we're triangle stepping with punches. We have worked on this in class. This should be at least a refresher for some of you guys. But now if you want to add in blocking, you can block at the same time and punch. I recommend like an outwards block. So if somebody we're throwing a hook at us, we can block that one, punch in the center. Or you can even just do blocking and responding regularly, like a cover and then hooking right back at them, or a cover and jabbing, or crossing right back. That's the other thing I want you to work on. So as we shadow box, I want you to cover. As I rotate, my power is loaded up on my rear side currently, so I'm going to throw a cross right back at them. If I cover on this side, again, I curled a little bit, I'm going to load up and throw it right back at them, use that same momentum against them, like Harry Potter, guys. All right, so pretty easy stuff. Some things that I want you to work on. We're gonna do a couple more combinations just to make sure we're good. On the next one, we're gonna work on like some arm drags, snap downs, arm bars, arm triangles, that sort of thing. I just wanna get you guys well prepared. So we're gonna do a jab, hook, rear kick really quick. I'm just gonna walk through this one. If you guys understand the pad holding, wonderful. I'm gonna use actually Coach Sparks for just the kick portion, but I'm gonna show it to you right now. We're gonna go jab, hook, and then rear kick. I'm not gonna do the full spin just so we stay in frame here. Jab, hook, and rear kick. All right, so with our jab, hook, rear kick, I'm moving around my partner. Actually, Coach Sparks, do you mind grabbing the pads for me here, sir?
Sure.
So with our pad holder, we're going to add in the rear kick. We're going to hold it to our side or even in front of us and turn that direction so you have all of your weight going to the back leg to hold for the rear kick. So Coach Sparks, we're going to be right here. If you don't mind, hold for the jab, hook, rear kick.
Lead side?
My lead side. Jab,
Okay.
hook, and then rear kick. So jab's all the same. Boom, he meets the same side. Hook. He's just going to hold that outwards, just like we were doing before. Hook. And then for the rear kick, he turns. See how he's now facing away from you guys? He's no longer even facing me. He's turning where my foot should be coming from for the rear kick. Okay? All right, so the next portion is moving around. This is good for when you guys are working at home. You can work your footwork. I want you to circle around your partner, not just always stay in front of them like Rock'em Sock'em robots. So here I'm going to move around my partner. I'm going to do my jab. I'm going to step off to the side, hook. I'm going to step off to the side and rear kick. This puts me at a different angle. I move around them. I can strike a little bit differently, especially if I aim my shots in different levels. It's another thing that you can do is add different levels. Maybe not even just a head jab. You do a body jab, lead hook to the head, and then rear kick to the body or even the leg. I want you to change all different levels, high, mid, low. Something to work on. Okay, guys? I'm going to leave you off with that right there. But again, lots of shadow work. Move your feet. Move your feet. Work the different defenses. Pretend somebody's hitting back at you, not just one-sided. I want you to hedge against the worst-case scenario as best as you can. Use your head movement, bobs and weaves. We're going to get into that probably a little bit more on the next one. Slips, covering, bars right in front of you, deflections on the inside, shields, all that good stuff, hollowing out. I could go on forever on those different things, but I want you to use them all. Everything that you know, let's put it together, guys. All right, stay safe, have a good time. Remember to tag us on Facebook, and you guys will get some credits for class. You could even get private lessons or gift certificates. And if you want, you can even have an ice cream party with me, I guess, too. All right? But remember to tag us, get some cool stuff. Again, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.